Hello and welcome everyone to another episode. Yeah, I've been kind of bored lately. Well, not really. As you guys can obviously tell, I did 2 live streams and 2 videos. I just needed a little bit of a break, and I hope that didn't really bother you guys too much. I just wanted to take a little hiatus, and I went out to the movies and hung out with the girlfriend, and did a few things here and there. Everything was pretty good, but I just wanted to take a little break. Sorry about that, guys. It's been what ever since I started uploading. I went on like a good 3-week streak, which is not normal for me. And basically just of launching videos and well, I should say launches and videos and playing and everything else. Yeah, I just wanted a little bit of a break. I'm pretty sure you guys don't mind, but yeah, so anyways, our new assignment, if we choose to take it, is launching our Mun Fuel Depot, the main scaffold for the Mun Fuel Depot. As you can see, it's pretty much almost the same as the Kerbin Fuel Depot. I did make a few changes, added a few lights, and a few different things here and there. Overall, the Fuel Depot design really does work out well, so I didn't really see any purpose in changing a lot of things. I did, like I said, I added a few lights, just added a few little features to it. No leather seats, no air conditioning or anything like that. I just kind of wanted to keep it as it is. But yeah, so this brings me on the new level of the live streams and all that stuff. Now, I did enjoy doing the live streams, and for those of you who watch, it's very much appreciated. For those of you who didn't watch, you were on my new list. I'm just kidding. No, I had a lot of fun with it. I had a lot of fun, but it was a little intense compared to actually doing videos. Because with videos, it's like this video is going to be edited and everything else, and if there's any parts I don't really like, I can always get rid of it, or fix it, or change it, or just do a whole brand new launch, and you guys won't even know, not unless if I mention it. So that was the kind of the part that was really intense about it to me. Not that I'm a bad player at this game, but it's always like, if I never tested something, then I really don't know if it's going to work. So the fact that I kind of haphazardly just kind of slapped some stuff together, and was like, alright, let's get out of here, let's go. Always leads to bad things, but overall it was fun. It was a new experience for me. That's the best way I could put it. But anyways, yeah, so I'm kind of getting a little bit bored with Kerbin, and not that it's in a bad way. There's just not very much left I really want to do. So, there's a few different construction things I could be doing, which is basically the KSS stuff, or I could finish off the fuel depot, which I'm going to do here eventually. That thing needs to get in 100% working order before I actually really start doing some stuff with it. But the fuel depot around the moon, that one, I'm going to have to set up the Kerbin one first, and then the moon one second. So that's kind of the basis for everything. We need to get a communications grid built and in orbit around the moon. The number one question I have for you guys is, would you like to see a video? It won't be the most intensely amazing video of me doing something just absolutely awesome or whatever, but would you guys like to see a video of me building the grid, and setting one up, and how to set one up? Because if you'd like to see something like that, I would be more than happy to do a video about that. I just didn't cover a lot of it because a lot of it was just these very slow, very painfully slow burns that just really didn't make you know, it was really boring in certain parts of it. So if you guys would like to see something like that and actually have an idea on how to set something like that up and make it like almost perfect, or you know, dang near, then I can show you that. But the main thing is like I said, it is just absolutely boring. So you know, getting these satellites, the worst part is getting them into these orbits here, at least for with Kerbin. With the moon, it will probably be a lot different, but afterwards, then doing these little burns to bring the satellite grids all together so they're all kind of on the same axis, or whatever you want to call it. So wow, excuse me, I just ate before doing this video, and wow, I'm just like, I'm stuffed. I had a lot of chicken, that's all I can say. Let's see, where is this? Alright, these two are there, and these two are over here. So, would they be able to communicate? I think so, but whatever. I was thinking of launching more, but I just don't know. I think that's good enough as it is, to be honest. So, let's get this little burn done here. Fix this, our descending and ascending nodes. And they look like they're pretty good, but the main problem is you know, you don't really need to do this to go to the moon, but I'm trying to see if this will work, and I really honestly don't think it's going to. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to line up the descending and ascending nodes before I get there. That way I won't be able, or I won't have to fix them once we get into orbit. But I don't think that's gonna work, to be honest. I'm trying to make the ascending and descending nodes perfect on the moon along with Kerbin. So I don't even know if it's even possible to do something like that. So let's get out a little bit further. I don't want to come flying at the moon, so I kind of want to put this thing in a higher orbit. So that's why I don't want to come in too hot, as they said, I guess. Whatever. But we'll bring this over. Let's see what we got for fuel. Wow, a lot of graphic issues. Yeah, so this thing should probably burn about that much fuel. And that's, yeah, right. This thing should burn away about that much of our burn. And I think we should be okay with the engine we have. Definitely okay with the engine I have, so. But, yeah, wow. So let me get a drink. Hold on 1 second. Now, in my last video as well, I forgot who it was. Sorry that I forgot your name. I'm not doing it in anger or anything like that. If you think you've angered Mr. Goosexy, but you haven't. But a lot of he was saying that the errors involved with what I was doing were on my side and not actually on you know, the game side, in which they're partially, but the problem is the SAS unit in this game really doesn't hold its heading very well, and that's one of the main things that a lot of people complain about now after they changed the SAS. But basically, when you have like your center of mass, where I have my docking, my RCS ports, I'm okay. It doesn't really matter what location they're in, so to speak, as long as they're all symmetrical. And you know, you can see that these things are all lined up perfectly, but the main problem is where your center of mass is. Whereas like with something like this, I'm gonna start my burn here, even though this stage is gonna give out here in about 3 seconds. Yeah, there we go. Alright, come on, keep burning. Oh my god, keep burning. Turn off the RCS, we don't need it, so. But let me get back to that. So, anyways, it has to do with your center of mass. Now, with the craft itself, if your center of mass is inside of where these RCS ports are, keeping your ship aligned to whatever it is that you're trying to dock to should be fairly easy. I mean, even if it is kind of in the upper portion, or if it's in the lower portion in the back here, it should be fairly easy to do a docking. But the problem lies that with, like, your center of mass, if it is out here, and your controlling ports are right here, but your center of mass is somewhere way in front, you're not going to be able to have very good control over your spacecraft in any kind of way. Because if you look at it kind of like a, I would say it's almost like hair on your head. If you turn your head really quickly, if you watch like a girl turn her hair or flip her hair, it's rocking both ways, but her head is stationary, even though she just moved. So that's like the best way I can describe it, even though it's probably not a very accurate description. I really generally suck at those kinds of things. So, yeah, and I don't want to get overly technical on my channel. People tend to confuse me with somebody else, and I don't really like the fact of being confused with somebody else. When I even talk anything about science or space, for some reason I get confused with somebody else. So I'm not really going to delve too much deeper into that. So let's just get this thing to the moon, and we'll try to get this thing lined up on, just get this lined up, whatever. I really don't think it's gonna happen though. I'm gonna get it at like a 250 orbit. I'm thinking something like that. Hopefully that works out. I really don't know. So we'll see what happens. Put it that way. I like just saying that. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so I plan on doing a fuel depot and a space station, kind of along the same lines as what we did with Kerbin. Maybe I'll do a few other things with it. I'm not 100% certain. There's a lot of stuff I'd like to do, and for those of you who are kind of wondering when I'm going to start delving into other things, that will be very soon. I don't want, to just kind of give away everything and let you guys know, because a few of you guys are wondering, when am I going to start doing like a mobile moon base, or just like anything in general, other than space station construction. And I just kind of want to, I want to set up certain things before we start going all crazy and doing some crazy stuff. Because for as much as I kind of don't want to admit it, some of these things actually did come in handy near the end when, I basically lost everything to the save. So to have some of this stuff in orbit already and have it being somewhat functional really does help out. So I've, even though in my videos some of my stuff that I launched, it looked like I never used it, a lot of the stuff I did use, I just never put it in my videos. Like the refueling stations and stuff like that. Occasionally I had to go to them. And some of the missions I put it in there, some of them I didn't. But basically when I'm playing this game, I usually am recording. So that's kind of like a staple for me. So if I was playing this game by myself without recording, I just kind of would be like, this is boring. I'm not going to play anymore. But I'm not going to say that I don't like this game, because I love this game. And what else? Oh yeah, so I totally forgot about this. I mentioned this before, I think. I don't think so. Basically, one of my subscribers, for those of you who don't know, or at least heard of him, but his name is Damon Holmes. Forgive me if I got your name wrong. He has cancer, so, he had throat cancer. He's only 13, I believe. Sorry if I got your age wrong as well. It's been a while since we actually had a chat. Because you kind of pop in and out every now and again, and that's what she said. Yeah, dude, I'm very much, but he's getting better now from what he was telling me, and everything's, it looks like everything's getting better, which I'm very happy for, and, I'm totally happy for you. He sent me a craft file, and he wants me to at least include it in one of my videos. Now, my main question for you guys is that this kind of intrigued me, and he also said it as well. I believe he was the one who recommended it, or something along the lines of that. But basically, alright, whoa, slow down. You need to fix this with SAS to the rescue. Or not SAS, RCS. He basically suggested this, and I want to know if you guys would like to do it as well, or take part, or anything. Basically, he stated, I should do a review of other people's spacecraft, and have them submitted to me, to my email, and you guys just basically build something and have me fly it, or whatever. I don't know if somebody else is doing this out in the community. I'm sure that there's someone is. I mean, it's just like the KSS, and a lot of people are doing kind of the same thing as the KSS, or whatever you want to call it, for, because it was like the Solar Gamer and a few other people involved. But if someone else is doing this, I really don't know. I don't pay attention to a lot of the KSP YouTube channels, which maybe I should, but yeah, so if you guys want to send your spacecraft and you want me to test fly it, I can leave my email. Just, you know what, let me know in the comments. That I think that would be better. Let me know in the comments, and you know, I'm definitely going to do your spacecraft, Mr. Damon Holmes. I'm definitely going to do it. I'm going to feature it because of him, and the fact that he had to fight cancer and everything else, compared to most of us, which don't even have to deal with any kind of things like that in our life. So I feel it's owed to him, in a sense, and I don't mean that in a bad way or a good way towards any of you guys, but he deserves it. So anyways, let's see. This thing is at a 248. It's almost perfect. I really don't need to change too much. It's probably in a better, it almost is in a better orbit than the KSS, but because the KSS got all screwed up, so then, but that was just from docking stuff to it, so they're really, it's like, it was like inevitable. So let's see, bring this over, there we go. Yeah, okay, 180, yeah, I'll just leave it there, I guess. Wow, that just, no. But the main reason why I want to leave this at a 250 orbit so far out is there's a very good reason behind it. Now, generally, I mean, if you guys watch my live stream, which I pretty much deleted all traces of the live stream, generally when you take off, let's say if you're short on fuel, most of the time when you're short on fuel like that, you only have enough fuel to get into a very insanely low orbit like I did, which was at 11,000 I'm not 11,000 kilometers, 11 kilometers, which isn't very high at all. I mean, off the surface, that's like nothing. So you either run out right there, or you end up getting somewhere in one of these crazy orbits in a few, you know, you're either between 300 or 400, and you run out of fuel, and you're kind of stuck in this limbo of an orbit where, you know, you'll be at a 250 orbit, or let's say a 300 orbit on this side, and 2 million on this side, or something crazy like that. So having something in orbit like right around here is always like a really, to me, it's a really useful thing to have. So that's kind of my main reasoning there. Now, I'm hoping that this thing is in a very, very stable orbit as far as it being like somewhere around 0 inclination. I really don't think it is, but I'm just trying to see if I can do that. I don't think it's gonna work out though. So anyways, let's see. I don't have any. Oh yeah, I have some RCS to transfer out. I'm just gonna do that real quick. But yeah, let me know about that whole test pilot, whatever you want to call it, thing. I would really like to know if you guys would like to see something like that. Once again, I don't really want to copy what somebody else does, but I think there's somebody out there, or there probably is. There always is somebody out there doing something along the lines of that. So I just want to make, whoa, yeah, wrong way. I just want to, be 100% sure that I'm not, in some way copying somebody or whatever, and yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Now this thing looks pretty awesome. I will admit that. I really do like the way that this fuel depot really turned out in design, because my first fuel depot that I ever launched didn't really have the same symmetry and a lot of other things. And another thing too is, like, I don't really dedicate like, if I'm building a space station, I don't think a space station should have engines on it in any kind of way. And if they are, like, if there are actual engines on it, they're for escape craft or something along those lines, where it's not an intended function of the actual space station. Like having something in order to escape the space station would be considered a part of the space station, but in the same sense, it's also an escape pod. It's kind of along the lines of having, what is it called? Totally slipping my mind. But when somebody docks up something to, like, a space station, let's say, like, I see something, I've seen it before, and I'm not knocking anybody who creates space stations this way. Basically with, pieces attached, like leaving something like this on there and just keeping it on there because it's permanently attached. There's a part of me that looks at that and it just kind of goes, yeah, well, you can also fly that. So it's built as something that could be, you can basically fly it. So there's no point in actually, wow, we got a helicopter here, guys. Wow, that's amazing. This is the first time I've actually had any interruption this entire time I've stayed at my parents' house. So that's pretty crazy. But if it's attached and I don't know, it doesn't look nice to me. Even though the engines are a part of the game, it's a part in the game. That's just my idea. But anyways, guys, we have a fuel depot platform. Let me just, another really good tip for you guys, if you plan on building something along the same lines as this, is if you line it up to this way, which I just did, which is like your basic, if you're going to do a burn to fix your inclination, it will never shift in any kind of way. The panels will never shift, nothing will ever shift. It always stays the same. So what you can do is, say if you don't have good exposure on one of your panels, you can just keep rotating this thing around to the point where you could be blocking one of your panels like this right here and you're getting no exposure, but you can kind of just orientate it whatever way you want. And now I usually do it at like kind of like a 45 degree, if you want to call it that. It usually works out pretty well. It doesn't block any of the panels or anything like that. So let's just fix it a little bit more. And it also comes in play pretty well when you're docking, because the docking ports themselves don't really move. So it works out for the best in every way. But you can see we got our lights on this thing. Let's just get it over on the dark side real quick, now that I got everything deployed so far. And this part will actually be taken off here in a second too. I'm just showing you guys everything. Everything looks pretty well lined up. I don't really see too many problems with it. I'm not a big fan of lights in general, so I don't really care so much that they're not absolutely perfect or whatever, but it's just enough lighting to where you can see the station, you can see the ports, you can kind of see everything. So that was the main point of doing all of this. But there's the sun. But let's quick save and get rid of this huge piece on here. Is it still? Yeah, it is still time warped. Let's decouple this. How much fuel do we got? Alright, yeah, let's get rid of this. There we go. And there we have it. So anyways, guys, to all you new people, welcome. Definitely check out. There's always more to come. Thank you for watching, and if you like what you see here, subscribe, all that other good stuff, and yeah, I will see you next time.